What a God. Praise ye the Lord. All we are trying to say is that we should always be around the people that can lift us up, the people that can validate us, the people that can encourage us, the people that can restore hope, even when we find ourselves in any hopeless situation. Hopeless situation. Um, so, how do we manage? I'm writing up now. How do we manage divine relationship? We've seen that divine relationship is very important. How do we manage it? How do we manage? Number one, to manage divine relationship is to spend time together. Anyone that you're in relationship with, spend time with that person. Spend time with your business partner. Spend time with your spouse if you are married. So, because divine relationships require time to develop and blossom. For instance, your relationship with God require time for it to blossom. Your relationship with your spouse, if you are married, require time for you to understand one another and be more loving, be more caring, for one another. You need to spend time with your business partner and so on and so forth, because time is required if you are to keep and enjoy the benefits of divine relationship. Time is required. So you need to spend time together. Number two, mutual respect. Mutual respect is very important as well. That is not taking anyone you are in any type of relationship for granted. Don't take anyone that you are in relationship with, don't take that person. It does not matter the kind of relationship, talking even if it is marital, it is business, it is even career. Don't take relationship that you are in for granted. Let there be mutual respect. Let there be mutual respect. Greed should be avoided at all costs. Number three, share experience. Share experience. Sharing individual experiences, either negative or positive, together brings bonding. When you share experience together, what are you doing? You are bonding. You are getting to know each other better. So that is one way to maintain divine relationship. Number four, trust is the foundation of any good relationship. Trust is very important. It is good to earn trust in any relationship rather than demanding it. I see in this generation, in this dispensation, people asking, demanding for trust. You don't ask for it. You don't demand for it. You earn it by your conduct. We have talked about character before. You earn the trust of the person you are in relationship with, either with your wife or with your husband or with your business partner or even your boss at work. You earn it. So trust is the foundation of any good relationship. There can never be a meaningful relationship without trust. What about reciprocity? Reciprocity is important. Number five, reciprocity is important to maintain a relationship, because the relationship that continues to be one-sided will not last. Relationship that continue to be one-sided will never last. Reciprocity is needed. Sometimes one person is the giver in a relationship, and at another time, another one is in the relationship will be the giver. But a relationship that continues to be one-sided will collapse in a matter of time. If you are the one receiving, and you are not giving, the other one say, what is this one? You are employed. You are not coming to work early. You are not doing what you are supposed to do, and you are getting paycheck. They will soon fire you. No, they will soon fire you. You're a man of the house, you're a husband, and you are not performing your role as the head of the house in giving money, in giving care, in loving, as the Bible says. Okay, very soon, the woman will say, I don't even need you. I can do all things. And that's what we see happening here in America. God will help us in Jesus' name. My final thought, I want you to listen very well. People create success in their life by focusing on today. People create success in their life by focusing on today, because today is the only time we have. Today is the only time we have. Today is the only time we have. Yesterday is too late, and you can't depend on tomorrow. Yesterday is too late. It ended last night. You cannot continue to dwell on spilled milk. It is wasted, as it were. Yesterday is too late, and you can't depend on tomorrow because you don't know what tomorrow holds. This is why today matters. What you to do today really matter. In James chapter 4, verse 13 to 17, James chapter 4, verse 13 to 17, New Living Translation says, look here, you who say today or tomorrow we are going to a certain town and we stay there a year. We will do business there and make a profit. How do you know what your life will be like tomorrow? How do you know? Your life is like the morning fog. It's here a little while, then it's gone. What you ought to say is, if the Lord wants us to do, if the Lord wants us to, we will leave and do this or that. Otherwise, you are boasting about your own pretentious plans. And all such boasting is evil. Remember, it is sin to know what you ought to do and then not do it. It is sin to know what to do now and not do it. It is sin to to have been taught some things in this seminar, in this summit, and you need to take action, and you're not take action. Take. Because what you do now matters. Today matters. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow you don't have control. Today matters. The fact is, we exaggerate yesterday. If I had money yesterday, I would have done this. You are exaggerating, overrating it. Even the little you have today, what are you doing with it? So the fact is this: we exaggerate yesterday, and we overestimate tomorrow. We overestimate tomorrow, but underestimate today. We underestimate today. We underestimate today. We underestimate today. So I don't want us to underestimate what God is doing for us, even in this moment. Therefore, the choice we make today will directly affect our future. The choice we make today will directly affect our future. God bless you. Thank you for listening. It is well with you in Jesus' name. I appreciate you. Amen. Go to the next segment, right? Somebody wants to use the restroom, a bottle of water or something. 2 minutes, 5 minutes. What's the next segment? The 10 minutes. Okay. She wants to see if one of the yes, let that go. You want to use the restroom? Okay. Okay, I think she might say that restroom too. God bless you. Welcome to the service. Amen. Amen. Daddy, again, we want to thank you. It's a great opportunity. It's a great platform provided for us to share these insights. And we're excited with everybody that are here. And we are very grateful for the lives of those that are listening, even online. You have had some kind of nuggets. We want to talk about, some practical ways that you can take advantage of what we have heard. You've heard me say again and again that today matters. Today matters, and thank God that the one of the purpose of this summit is to be connected for business purpose, to learn what to do, to have understanding about how to start, a business, even in a little way, and begin to see it grow as we put to practice some of the things that has been mentioned in the first session of this summit. So I have the pleasure to invite my business partner to come and take it off from here. She will tell us who she is in the as an introduction. But like I shared with few of us that came earlier, she's a physician, a family physician that in the course of discharging her medical responsibility, she got to know that there are some other ailments, there are some kind of sickness that are triggered by the information she's about to give us, which we need to take note of. She's still practicing as a physician, but she's doing what she's doing now because of her passion. I mentioned passion earlier. Passion of the talent, the passion over her talent, the talent that God has given unto her. So I want to invite Dr. America Foster to come and share with us. Come on, let us make some noise here.
To be able to manage the PowerPoint I have. Good morning, good morning. Such a wonderful opportunity to be here today. When Pastor was talking, I was thinking about, well, what is my talent? Right? I think we all were thinking that, right? What is our individual talents? And I would admit that one of mine is certainly to keep an open mind, right? Because I went into medicine, has always been my dream. It has always been my dream. I went into medicine because it allowed me the opportunity to teach people about their bodies, to teach people how to take care of themselves, to teach people how to be able to take care of others. We talked about, can you folks see the PowerPoint? I'm hoping so. Okay, all right, beautiful, beautiful. And then people ask me, well, why did you go into the financial industry? Well, it wasn't something that I was seeking, right? But my ability to keep an open mind allowed me to see where I needed to teach the people that I saw on a daily basis. One of the things that came to mind when my patients would come to see me, many of them would come in with a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. That's actually one of the number one things that I see when patients come to see me. They all come in saying that they're either depressed or having anxiety. I would ask them, well, what is causing your anxiety? Right? There'd be many things, but really top on their list was the fact that they were worried about their financial future. Right? They were worried about whether or not their children, they'll be able to provide for their children so that they can go to university and get a career. They were worried about their own selves as to whether or not they would be able to retire. So most of them would say to me, not, I would ask them actually when they would retire. They would say, well, if I can retire, right? And that really sit well with me, right? It resonated with me. I had a patient that I thought he had everything covered, but I'd never asked him the question, what's going on in his life, right? What does he have building for his future? I usually ask the medical stuff, but the social stuff, I never really dived into that. But social stuff really impacts your medical life, right? So my patient died, and I just knew that the family would have everything together because this gentleman always presented himself as someone that had it together. I was shocked to know that nothing was in place. And when he died, his family was left so destitute that they had to go back to their country. There was no way that they could survive here in the United States. And unfortunately, folks were not generous to them and in taking care of them. What this patient did not do was to help protect his family. And that really hit hard. That's actually what propelled me into teaching about financial education. So my patients would tell me, I work in one of the poorest cities in Rhode Island. I work in Central Falls, right? I love it there. My patients are very generous. They're the poorest people, but they're the best in generosity, right? Because they have great, clean hearts. They would give every little thing that they have, right? And I want to help them help themselves because it's truly not how much you make, but how much you save and where you save. Like you have to have that education in order to be able to help your families. I came into this opportunity because not only did it afford me the opportunity to help myself and my family and my patient, but it also allowed me a business opportunity, right? I'm a physician. I wasn't necessarily looking for another business opportunity, but this, wow, it really afforded me to be able to work part time and be able to help people along the way, right? Our business is called World System Builders, World Financial Group, and the basis of the business is teaching, which is the core of myself, right? I love to teach, educate people, and have them make decisions for themselves. So let's talk about a little bit about the business, and let's talk a little bit. I'm going to ask you questions because I don't like to just talk. I like people to interact with me. All right. So let me give this statement first. We live in one of the wealthiest countries in the world, and yet we always seem to have money problems. Why is that? Why do we have money problems in this here United States, which is the richest or one of the richest, if not the richest country in the world? Why do we have money problems? What's your name, dear? Luca. Luca. Buka. Oh, I like it. Yes. Why do we have money problems, Miss Buka? Sometimes we spend it on things that we don't need and we pile it up in the house. That money is saved for future purposes or something. But the moment that I buy it, I feel like I need it, Miss Buka. Right? Yeah. That's the problem. Where I need it, I need it. I need it, I need it. Then I put them, hiding them. We never use them. And we never use them. Absolutely. Yeah. Anybody else have that? Yeah. What's your name? Rose? Ola Tony. Okay. In the sense that some things we can afford it, so we force ourselves to engage in price such things, and now we have to work extra hours, and all the money we're making, we're just dumping it on that particular thing. Thinking. Yeah. No, that's good. That's good, right? And we are influenced, right? We're influenced by the vlogs, right? We are influenced. Oh, we have to have that purse. We have to have that shoe, right? We're influenced by lots around us. But truly, those things doesn't matter, right? Now we have to face the challenges. We truly do have bad habits. You hit the nail on the head. We have bad habits and we make poor decisions. And then that keeps piling up on top of each other. Bad habits, poor decisions certainly add up, right? What do the wealthy know that the rest of us do not know? Right? What do they know that the rest of us do not know? Some of the bad habits we have is that we don't budget, right? We don't write things down. Like if you write every single thing down where each penny is going to go every month, every week, every 2 weeks, wherever we get paid, we wouldn't be spending the money as you speak of, right? We also have no goals and we do spend a lot. You talked about that, right? We are living paycheck to paycheck, right? Because we're not in a position to we're not budgeting properly. We are not in a position to let our money work for us. We're living paycheck to paycheck. We are getting increasing debt, right? You said that things are piling up in the corner of the house, right? And we're also not interested in the financial future. Many times when I would bring up finances to people, they want to fight, right? Because it's not a subject that's comfortable. It's not a subject that is easy for people to talk about. And there's a lot of shame around it. But I say, let it not be a shameful subject, because if we don't talk about financing, we're not going to be able to negotiate price on the house, right, that we are going to buy. If we don't talk about financing, you're not going to be able to go to your boss and let your boss know, hey, I deserve a raise, right? You have to know how to talk about those things, right? You show them what you have, and you deserve to get paid for what you're offering each company. So it's good to talk about things. People are living longer, right? We know that the average lifespan for men is about 77. For women, we beat you men. Sorry. We are about 82. But we've always known that women outlive men. People ask me, well, why is that? And I said, well, men do silly things, right? They jump out of plane. They bungee jump, they race cars, right? They do a lot of dangerous things. But no, it actually is. We've seen that. We see that women outlive men um, by about 5 years. So in 2023, the average is 77.3 for men, and for women is 82.2. In 2030, the average is going to be about 78.5. Men are going to live to about 78.5 and women to about 83. And in the year 2060, men are going to be living to about 82.5 and women to about 86.1 because of, the medical establishment is getting better. We are living longer. We are taking care of our health. And so, yes, the life expectancy certainly is inching upwards. So there's challenges though. There's challenges in the aging world, right? We have a lower birth rate. People are not having as many children as they used to have in the past. We have more single parents as some of the challenges we're facing as well. We have increasing health concerns. Somebody brought up to me the other day that they're seeing more and more diabetes in our community because that's what we suffer from. We suffer from diabetes and high blood pressure in our community, and we're seeing more and more of it. So that's certainly something that's plaguing us. We are seeing people not having an appropriate housing and not having supervision. We're seeing that transportation is an issue. Mobility, people being able to ambulate around the world is more of an issue. We see people are not really paying attention to wealth transfer, right? We're not thinking about the generation below us that we have produced. We're not thinking about them and how they're going to survive in the world. People are not thinking of necessarily about their health directives and also financial security, such as Social Security and savings and taxes. Social Security, right? That is sort of the hot button word these days, right? People are wondering what's going to happen to Social Security. And many people think that is going to be something that's going to go away. Well, it's not going to go away, right? It's just that the amount of money that we're going to get in the future is going to be reduced. But that's not going to be enough to sustain us. So we have to truly sustain ourselves. You talked about you really have to help yourself. You can't be helpless in this world. When you go into the supermarket, you see now, right? The self-serving aisles, right? Most of those things are self. I hate those, right? Don't you? Oh, I hate those. But that's the world that we are living in, right? You go to the bank, you can barely talk to the bank teller. You have to get out of your car, go into the bank, right? Everything is more self-serving, right? You really have to take care of ourselves because we can't depend necessarily on other people to take care of us. And we have to take care of each other as a community as well, right? Because we can't depend on the government to come and save us, right? Have they saved us in the past? Has the government come in to save us in the past? Oh, okay. Right. So we have to take care of us, ourselves and our community. And I like this question. Are you too busy doing the first half of your life to prepare for your second half? Because many people, when we're young, we're not thinking about, I'm looking at the young ones here. When we're young, we're not thinking about our future, but quickly, right? We age and we get older and we turn from 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 and older. So we definitely have to think about building the financial foundation. We talk about proper protection as the basis of that financial foundation. Debt management, that's actually my favorite thing to do in this company, helping people get out of debt. Because once they get out of debt, they have all this money that they were sending to their credit card that they can now save for themselves. So I love being able to help them see their way through out of that heavy weight, heavy burden that they've been carrying. Emergency fund is the third round that we have to take care of in building this financial foundation. Now, I ask you, how much of an emergency fund is sort of the number that we are looking at when we say we have to build an emergency fund? How many months of working in an emergency fund do we need? 3 months? Okay, what say 3 to 6 months and 3 to 6 months? Yeah, yeah, we're right there, 3 to 6 months, right? And then we have to think about investments as well. Mm. So in building the proper protection, by proper protection, what do I mean? What do I mean by protection when I say that? That you have to start your financial foundation with protection. What does that mean? I'm talking about your health insurance, right? Making sure that you have that in place, your life insurance, making sure that you have that in place, disability insurance if need be, right? We need to have that in place. We have to build that. And the goal for the future. Now, proper protection. People ask me, well, all right, you tell me I need insurance. Yes, I need my health insurance when I go to the doctor. Yes, I have to pay my copay, but having the health insurance helps me to get, my physicals every year. It helps me to get my EKGs if I need it. If I need an X-ray, I can have that, right? That's all protected. It's all covered when you go to the doctors, right? And if you don't have health insurance, there's people in the doctor's offices. I work in one of the community health centers in Central Falls. There's people in our office that would help you get the insurance for your health, right? So we are really conscientious on that because we know that that's really important for folks. And as far as life insurance, how much life insurance do people need? How do we figure that out? Well, usually the quick math on figuring out how much life insurance you need is really 10 times your income. So if you make $30,000 a year, you need about 300,000 in life insurance. If you make 100,000, that you need about a million, right? Because it's 10 times whatever your income is that you need in proper protection. Now we want to get people to zero debt, so that's what we help our organization and being a campaigner and being part of World System Builder would certainly help get people out of debt. We need about 3 to 6 months of the emergency funds. And how much in investment? Like how do you know that you're ready for retirement? How much in investment do you need? How much do you need to retire with? You don't know? How many times your income? One times your income, two times your income? What did you say? 10 times your income? Okay, getting closer. It's actually 20 times your income that we need to retire with. Why? Because we're living 20 years in retirement, right? Most of us want to retire. Like, I ask people, when do you want to retire? They tell me 59. I'm like, no, you can't retire at 59. You're too young, right? And they say, really? And then they tell me, okay, then 62, right? Right? But what is Social Security retirement? When 66, yeah. Yeah, depending on when you're born, somewhere between 66 and 67, right? Because if you're born after 1960, your new retirement age is 67. And I think that's probably going to go up in the future, most likely, right? In order to sustain Social Security. Yes, ma'am. 70. And that's what I'm seeing, right? People are still, even though the Social Security retirement age is 67, we're working till they're 70. And thankfully, people are healthier. We saw in the earlier slide that people are living longer, right? So people are healthier at 70. You're looking all sad at, you're saying, thinking 70, huh? You're like, as soon as I get close to retirement age, they push it up, right? Right. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I hear people say that all the time. Yeah. Yeah. If you're working on an assembly line, lifting things, working in the post office, that's heavy duty work. I hear people say that all the time. But then it depends. Yes. It depends on you as a person. Yes, absolutely. Right. That's true. No, I like this. I like the stimulant. No. Yeah. Yeah. Right. 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 Yeah.
Depends on you.
On you. And your retirement, and that's exactly right. The retirement depends on you, right? We don't want to depend on the government, right? That's why we teach what we teach, because also Social Security is definitely not enough to sustain you. It was never meant to be your whole retirement resource, right? We have to depend on ourselves. And that's why it's really important the organization we belong to, because we teach people how to supplement their income, right? Either by being a campaigner with us and making part-time income, or learning the specific rules that you need in order to build for your future. Yes, dear. Right. Yes, that's true. We see that too. Yeah. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Not everybody come back for the money. They come for the social interaction. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. You have a good point. I want to talk about this X curve concept. Like in the beginning of our working years, when we are young, we're mainly taking care of our family. So we're really not saving a whole lot, right? We're putting children through school, we're buying a home, we're taking care of the family. As time goes on, right? When we are older, we need to learn to certainly take care of ourselves, because now the children have grown, they're out of school, we put them through school, they are independent, and now we have to take care of ourselves, right? We talk about this dime method. The dime method is a quick and dirty way how we figure out how much insurance folks need. And then we talk about the wealth formula. The wealth formula was a powerful thing that I learned, because this is the formula how to build wealth, right? You need to have your money, and you need to give that money time to grow, right? People always thinking that they can just get rich from one day to the other by putting their money in the stock market, right? They're going to get rich quick. It doesn't necessarily, every once in a blue moon, you hear about that person that happens to. But for the majority of us, right? We need to, little by little. You start today. Today is the only time you have, right? Today is the only time you have. You start from today, you start with whatever little you have, $10, 20, whatever it is. You just have to start, because if you don't start, 2 years from now, you still will be in the same position that you are today. Today is the day that you take charge, that you said, right? So you take the money, you give it time. Um, Depending on where you put your money, you're going to have either a positive or a negative rate of return, right? If you put your money in the stock market, we see that you have positive or negative rates of return, because our money bounces up and down when we have it there. We have to subtract inflation. We have to subtract taxes, right? Taxes, right? And then what you have left is the wealth, right? So that is the wealth formula. Now, I talked about one of my favorite things to do with this campaign and this organization is to help people get out of debt. And when I tell people, I can help you get out of debt just by you attacking your bills with an extra $100 a month. And they ask me, wow, is that true? Yes. And I show them, we have several free workshops. And one of the workshops is called the Debt Roll Up Workshop. And I show people how you use $100 to strategically get you out of debt. And that's one of the beauties of our organization. Now, we talk about the compound effect of money. Tell me about the rule of 72. Who knows about the rule of 72? Tell me about it. That's what Albert Einstein told us. He told us about the rule of 72. He said that you take the number 72, all right, you divide it by whatever interest rate that your financial institution gives you, and what you have left is the time it takes for your money to double. All right. How much is your financial institution giving you as far as interest rate these days? Yeah. Like when you put your money in the bank, what sort of interest rate is in the bank these days? Do you know? 0.0, yeah, right? But let's say that the bank is generous and they give us 1%. All right, apply that to the rule of 72. 72 divided by 1 is how many? 72 divided by 1 is 72. That means it's going to take 72 years for your money to double. Who got that kind of time for your $100 to turn into $200, right? So that's why the education we provide people, we show people where their money would double faster, right? So this lady has a 6% interest rate. So 72 divided by 6 is 12. So it's going to take 12 years for her money to double. So she started off with $10,000. So every 12 years, her money is going to double. So she is, I don't know how old she was when she started, but in 12 years, that $10,000 is going to turn into $20,000. In 12 years, another 12 years, it's going to be 40. In another 12 years, the 40 is going to turn into 80. And in another 12 years, the 80 is going to turn into 160, right? But let's say you have a place and we show people where to put their money so that this can happen, where they offer you 8% interest. 72 divided by 8 is 9. So now it's going to take 9 years for the money to double. And by the way, did I say this? Albert Einstein gave us this rule, and it really is true when we apply it to our money. So in 9 years, her money will continue to double. So when she is 36 years into having this money in the bank, she would have 159,000. Now she did better than the person that had it in the 6% interest bearing account. So let's say we show her where to put the money in a 10% interest bearing account. We apply the rule of 72. 72 divided by 10, 7.2 years for your money to double. So that same $10,000, just having the education as to where to put that money would give her 309,000. Okay, so there's a big difference between having a 1% interest account and having a 10% interest account, right? So inflation is a silent killer. I learned that in finances. In medicine, what's the silent killer in medicine? Do we know? What's the silent killer in medicine? What disease do I and all the medical professional blood pressure, right? High blood pressure is a silent killer of especially in our community, right? In medicine, in finances, the silent killer is inflation, right? Because let's say you have $100, the beginning of the year, you take $100, you put it in the bank, right? Now we're at the end of the year, okay? You get 5% interest, so you're like, oh yeah, I made my $5 for that year. I am golden, okay, right? You're feeling good, right? You know you did your thing, right? But you have to pay interest, right? You have to pay taxes on the interest that you got. And let's say we pay 25% tax, right? So then they subtract that from the $5, right, that you made. So how much do we have left, right? We have $3 and $3.75 left, right? But wait, we're at the end of the year. So inflation now has reared its ugly head, right? So now that's going to affect our money. So let's say the inflation is 3%, right? All right. So now the inflation is going to take 3% off of the money that we made, right? So The actual return is 75 cents. So most people tell me, oh, wow, I don't need your information because I have a high yield savings account and it's paying me 5%. And I'm like, yeah, but you're getting 75 cents on your $100, right? So that's what we don't know, right? So that's the information you don't know because on the outset, yeah, if you're getting 5% interest, that's really good because it's not 1%, right? So we're all excited, but the 5% is no better. At least it's better than the 1% because actually with the 1%, we're losing money when we have our money in the bank, right? So at least they're breaking even, but they're not making money. Their money is now growing, right? So that's what we teach people. So the information is powerful. So we have people save for their future. So we learned about the rule of 72. What's the rule of 72 again? Yes, it gives you the time it takes for your money to double. All right. Did y'all write that down? Nobody writing that down. Okay. All right. I am playing with you. So the way how we start with saving, remember I said it's not how much you make, but how you save and dedicated time to saving. So this lady makes $60,000 a year. We have her, and $60,000 a year, we tell her she has to set aside about 10% of her income. So 10% rolls out to be about $500 a month, and then that rolls out to be about $17 a day. Okay? Do y'all spend $17 a day? No, you don't think so? You spend more. Oh, okay, all right. I thought you were going to tell me you spend yet less. We spend more than $17 a day on foolishness, right? Because we go to Dunkin', we hit the Dunkin' Donuts, right? You hit the McDonald's, right? Then you hit the this and the that, right? So yeah, so $17 a day this lady is gonna save, and we show her where to put her money. She's lucky enough that we got her at an early age, but it doesn't matter your age, you just need to start. She was 30 years old when we spoke with her. She put that $500 a month into an 8% interest bearing account, and in 30 years, she has over $745,000, right? So imagine if she didn't even start, she would have nothing, right? But she started with the $17 a day. We show her there's also places where you put your money where you get 10% interest, right? That $500 a month for 30 years, right? $1.13 million she has for her retirement. So this is why what we need, this divine connection, right? Learning this information, right? Us being here today was not a mistake, right? We're here today. God called us all today, gave us help to bring us here today to learn this information and hopefully to act on it as well. Okay? So we talk about the silent killer that inflation is. Now, remember the 70s? Well, not everybody, probably the young men, probably, but in the 70s, how much was the cost of the house? Do you remember how much a house cost? Yeah, yeah, right? A house used to cost and it's high because actually it says a new home was 23,000. Wow, right. 23,000. A gallon of gas was 36 cents. A loaf of bread was 25 cents. And then we were making a whopping $9,350 a year. That was in the 70s. Now we now we moved to the 90s. Now the home price now went from $23,000 a year. The same home is now $123,000 a year. $123,000 for the home, for the same home, right? The price of gas went to $1.34 a gallon. Loaf of bread is now 70 cents. Although I was here in the 90s, I don't remember a loaf of bread being 70 cents ever. But yeah, I guess it was, right? And wages were 28,970. Now that, yes, that's what the average wage earner was making per year. So you see how progressively getting higher. How about today? How much is a home today? Right. And the average about 535,000, right? So we went from 23,000 for a home in the 70s to 535,000 now, right? Just a few years later, to me, it's a few years later, I feel like it was just yesterday, right? And a gallon of gas, $3.43, right? Loaf of bread is $1.54. Hmm. I don't know. I don't see any bread for $1.54 today. Not even the store brand is that, but okay. They're saying average because so they're looking across the country, right? Not here in Rhode Island. We have a higher price than that. And then our wages is now 65,000, right? So the wages really didn't increase that much, right? It went from 9,000 to 28,000 to 65,000. It really didn't increase as much as the price of homes increased. So that's like ridiculous, right? Um, but that is what's happening. So what will your $100 do in the next 20 years, right? 5 years from now, the purchasing power of $100 would then decrease to about $86. So what we would get for $100 today, we couldn't get that amount today. We would have to pay. It would only be worth $86 in about 5 years, right? So inflation, again, the silent killer, eating away at our money. And 20 years from now, what $100 can buy today, right? You're not going to be able to buy the same with $100. It would actually, the buying power of $100 would be decreased to about $55 in 20 years. So, yeah, when you think about that, that's wow. But it's what's happening. It's what's happening. Okay. So what do? We want you to understand taxes also, right? We talked a little bit about taxes when we did the inflation example. Now, there are three places where you can put your money when we are saving money, right? We have tax now accounts, tax later accounts, and tax advantage account. Now, we talked about the tax now account. Those are like our checking accounts, our savings account, right? When I say tax now and forever for those accounts, because anytime you gain money in your interest, you still have to pay taxes. And it's not just one time, right? Anytime your money goes up in the bank, you have to pay taxes every year, right? You get that little paper that comes in the mail, and you're like, I made $3 in taxes. I made $3 in interest. I need to pay my taxes on that money, right? So that's tax now and forever accounts. Then we have the tax later account. That's like our 401ks. So you probably have a 403b at your 401k at your job. Some jobs have those, right? Annuity, pension. These are money that you put money in today. You haven't paid any taxes, and you're like, yes, I'm getting a tax break now, and then it's time to retire. And you have $100,000 in your account, and you're like, yes, I have 100,000. Well, no, you don't, right? Because you haven't paid taxes on that money. So those are tax deferred accounts. So it's nothing wrong with those accounts, just as long as you know that your 100,000 is not 100,000, it's about 70,000, right? And then tax advantage account. Most people don't know about the tax advantage accounts, right? Those are the Roth IRAs, right? The 529 plans for the kiddos, right? Even your life insurance, your index universal life account, that's actually a tax advantage account. You put money in those accounts, you already paid taxes on it in the beginning. The money grows, 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 grows. It's time to retire. You have 100,000. How much tax do you pay on the 100,000 when you want to withdraw that money? Zero, because it's a tax advantage account, right? So many people didn't know about that. When I heard that the first time, I said, oh, wow, I've never heard of that. I actually diverted money from my 401k into a tax advantage. I didn't want to keep paying taxes when I retire, right? I wanted some accounts where I didn't have to pay any taxes. It's good to have money in all three. So if you don't have money in all three, you have to take a look at that, right? So that's some of what we teach people. So there's definitely when you're saving your money, you're considering growth, right? You want your money to certainly grow. You want it to be safe, right? You want your money to be safe. You want it to be tax advantage. Now that's a new word in your vocabulary because a lot of people never heard about tax advantage, but you want that. So you want to look into those accounts and you want the proper protection. How much protection do we need? Like what is the average protection we need? The life insurance that we talked about, how much protection? I'm quizzing you. 10 times your income. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So I certainly want you to build your future, right? I came to World Financial Group, World System Builders for about actually, yeah, this month. It's my 4th year. Yes. Happy anniversary to me for being with this powerful campaign, helping many people along the way, building people's future. And it's a place where actually you can help others. I think it's such a win-win, right? You're able to help others help themselves and help their financial future, but then also you get paid on a part-time basis So many people that come into this campaign, they see the benefit of the campaign so much that they've actually quit their jobs. We've had so many teachers, people that were teachers, that quit their jobs to become full-time campaigners, making great money with this campaign. Nurses, we've had nurses quit their jobs. Not that I want people to quit their jobs, but they saw how this could certainly build a future for their families. And so we've had a lot of nurses start off with this business being part of their a part-time income to then being their full-time income. They saw how it benefited themselves and benefited their families. And I tell people all the time, you can make more money than a doctor make, because I do this on a very part-time basis and make just as good income doing this business as I do in medicine. So one of the things we do with families, when we start talking with families, we do a financial checkup, right? We have people sit down. They become really honest with me when I ask them the questions. And we talk about how much money they're making and where their money is being spent. Because if you're not a person that budget, I'm a person that I have my budget for 2025 already written out. So that's how my mind works. That's how organized I am. I want to know where every penny is going. And so I do that for myself and I do that for my clients as well. When they see where their money is going, believe me, they make much more money than they think, right? But it's just that they're wasting a lot of their monies. And so doing this financial checkup for them makes it real, right? Because a lot of people have their budget in their head, but putting it on paper makes it real for them. And so that's one beautiful thing that we get to do for families. So if you have the will, we can provide the vehicle. Financial security truly is not a dream. It really is a priority. And we see that more and more today. I mean, even just by looking at what's going on with the elections, it just, it makes you very fearful. It makes you know that, wow, I really have to secure my family. I really have to secure myself. I really have to secure the next generation, right? One more note. So will your current situation allow you to reach your goals? I want you to think about our situations, right? Would that allow you to reach the goals you have for your future? You can be part of the campaign that is truly revolutionizing the financial industry. And this is a system that bridges financial education with financial independence. And that is the power of our campaign. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share today. I would like to know if you have any question, like what's going through your head right now. I hear a lot of I want to know the words behind them, right? It makes you know that, wow, today is the day that I'm starting, right? That I would start for myself. Today is the day that I would start for my family, right? We catch people at different intervals, right? Some people are close to retirement. Some people have already retired. Some people still have they're still building their children's future. But everybody is thinking about themselves, about their families, right? And our community as well, right? Because we have to take care of one another, because one man is not an island, right? We have to take care of one another. And so that's why this campaign is really touching to my heart. I'm glad that I am able to have had an open mind when it was presented to me the very first time. Many times patients come and they may come in with their cholesterol high, right? And many times patients offer another way that they can attack their cholesterol. I talk about diet, exercise. They have a lot of natural remedies that they're willing to try. And anytime my patients are willing to do things, I always back them up. I said, yes, we're going to try this, and you're going to come back to me. This cholesterol is going to be 20 points less, because if it's not 20 points less by the time you come back, we're going to do this plan, right? So I always have an open mind. I always give them the opportunity to help themselves, right? And in helping themselves, they see that I'm behind them, right? They see that I want best for themselves and for them, and they want the best for themselves as well. So yeah, keeping an open mind definitely is my talent. Can everybody tell me what the talents are? You want to go around the room? Yeah, you don't want to do that? Miss Howard, what's your talent, my dear? Huh? You're an entrepreneur. Okay. Yeah. Oh, nice. So you're building for your own boss, right? Being an entrepreneur, you answer to yourself. You're your own boss. Good. You want to tell me your talent? Oh, you're smiling. So my eyes went to you with a smile. You have many talents. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. So you know about all what we do. I was actually at the conference in Las Vegas. You went to Las Vegas. Yeah, we just came back from Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I love that. That is a talent, right? Because you provide the love and the smushiness. Yes, yes, being a grandma is a talent. Yes, I love that. Yes, I love that. Yes. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share. Thank you, Bishop, Pastor.
I just want us to one more time give not her, but the Lord a round of applause. We are children of the Most High, and we know that anything that we do is God that has enabled us, and to Him alone be all the glory. Great things that He has done. Again, we want to be grateful to God, and we want to be grateful to you for coming here today for this summit. And just as we said earlier, today matters. Today really, really, really matters. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow we don't have control over. So it is the opportunity that we make of today's information that really, really matters. And I pray that the Lord Almighty will give us the wisdom to make the right choice in Jesus' name. Please help me welcome my beloved daddy here, Daddy and Bishop Femi Owuyemi to come and take it over from here. Glory be to God. Or do we need to go to a break? Okay, sure. A stretch leg. Okay, okay, that's better. Let's have uh a short break, stretch break. We can go to the bathroom and all do all that. Thank you.